January 28th, the 98th New York Writers' Dinner in Manhattan, a night when the best in baseball are honored. Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander.
Thank you to the Baseball Writers Association for having me at this wonderful event.
Aaron Judge for MVP.
This has been an incredible honor to be recognized for these awards tonight.
Sharing the same stage, 29-year-old researcher Sarah Langs.
I want to thank all of the players, managers, broadcasters, everyone who is part of this baseball world for embracing me and for doing all of these things that make us love baseball so much. So thank you, everybody, so much. Baseball is who I am, and getting to work on it is what I do. So I understand there may be a day where that's not the case. I want to continue being me.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
How would you describe the first moment when you began to fall in love with baseball?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know if I can pick one moment. I just have so many incredible family memories.
She grew up in Manhattan, the only child of Charles and Lee Zahn, in a family that devoured baseball daily.
From late March to early November, a baseball game was always on in our house.
We would be sitting there watching the Met game, probably my dad and I sitting eating dinner on the floor, my mom sitting on the couch, and all of us just sitting there watching the game.
There was no such thing as too much baseball.
If Sarah wasn't screaming in her living room, she was screaming at the ballparks, like the time she became a fixture at Giant Spring Training in Arizona.
We would sit in seats that weren't ours, that were just right like behind the plate. And, Sarah would scream to the players. She knew all their names.
I hear this big booming voice yelling for the players, for our players. I mean, she was passionate.
I can't believe that me being way too loud cheering at a spring training game, led to my knowing a Hall of Fame manager.
She became part of the sounds of spring training. Every spring, you hear the crack of the bat, the vendor, the fans, and then we'd hear Sarah's voice.
With baseball firmly rooted in her DNA, Sarah landed her dream job in 2015 as a researcher at ESPN for Baseball Tonight.
With more about Carpenter and his impact, let's go to Baseball Tonight researcher Sarah Langs. Sarah, how impactful is this?
He's incredibly impactful. Entering the day, he had 3.5 wins above replacement. That's the most of any Cardinals player this season. He's their leader in runs.
She knows baseball. She understands what I needed, what you needed. With her, the connection was there right away. It was right there right away. And the trust and the fact that you knew that using that information, she was going to make you look good on TV.
Sarah continued perfecting her craft. And then in 2016, just as the World Series was about to begin, she met a newly hired researcher named Matt Williams. They've been together ever since.
What's she like on a day when there's no baseball games?
Oh my gosh, the off seasons are brutal. I always tell her she needs a hobby, and she does not have one.
By 2019, Sarah became a writer and producer for MLB.com and a regular contributor to MLB Network.
Better recently, too. They're both great players. I'm not trying to hate on Mookie Betts. These are both outstanding players. I want to be crystal clear with that.
Then, she provided analysis as part of the first all-female broadcast in MLB history.
Next highest average fastball velocity on this team is like 93.2 miles an hour for Michael Wacha among their current starters. So he is absolutely in his own class. And great to be part of this. So great to hear all of the energy that we've all.
But as her career soared through the 2019 season, Sarah began to feel that something was wrong.
I remember running into you in the bowels of Yankee Stadium, and you noticed I was limping. You asked what was wrong, and I just figured I had sprained my ankle or done something, but nothing hurt.
I definitely commented to her, you know, you're limping, and I know, you know, it's my ankle, it's from running, but I just always had a very bad feeling about it from the very beginning.
There were x-rays and examination. She very quickly referred me to a neurologist, so I knew at that point something was wrong.
Sarah met with several doctors over a period of months in search of answers. Then in late summer 2021, she would learn the truth from her neurologist. Sarah was diagnosed with ALS.
It was upsetting and there were tears, but I can't express how much of a relief it was to have an answer.
That moment, you know, hit us like a ton of bricks, but he was like, I'll give you guys a moment. Tears shed.
She had called us. She was speaking to my wife. I just remember the moment, pardon me, where my wife's eyes closed. And the way your eyes close when you get terrible news. It's the moment I remember.
But then the next course of action for both of us is just, okay, what can we do?
How do we make sure I'm still doing what I want to do? How do we make sure he's still able to do what he wants to do? And that we're able to live our lives the way we want to.
Known as Lou Gehrig's disease, named for the immortal Yankees first baseman, ALS is a rare, mostly non-genetic disease, resulting in the progressive loss of motor neurons that control voluntary muscles. About 60% of people with the disease are male between the ages of 55 to 75. There is no known cause and no cure.
In the context of your diagnosis, what was important to you about continuing to work?
What else am I gonna do? I mean, why I was drawn to baseball, the constancy, 162 games, plus the postseason. Baseball is there the same way when I was an only child, and I was either with my parents or my friends or watching baseball.
Sarah continued working, all the while wrestling with the decision of whether to publicly reveal her condition. In the year after she was diagnosed, in October 2022, as her voice began weakening,
So good to see you. Thank you for having me, BK.
she finally decided it was time.
I think I was tired of... I felt like I was hiding something and it wasn't even purposeful. But it was also incredibly emotional. Each time I shared this with someone, I wanted to show them that someone with ALS can still work the postseason and do all of these things. That timing was very purposeful.
What do you remember about right after you pushed send?
Just the most overwhelming moments of my life.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, Buster Posey here.
They're all rooting for you, Sarah, on the screen here at Citi Field. Our teammate Sarah Langs divulged to the baseball community and those that follow her on Twitter that she is suffering with ALS. We love Sarah and we wish her the best for sure.
Then, on January 28, 2023, Sarah was here alongside the biggest names in the sport to share her mission.
In addition to making sure everybody loves baseball, to make sure that we tell people in our everyday lives how much we love and appreciate them, not just because something has gone wrong. I knew for a while that I wanted to do something to raise money and awareness. I'm lying in bed one night And I realized fist bumps, that's so easy. It's a sports thing. You see them on the field all the time. That's a really good one. And that's how it came about.
On May 2nd, 2023, the Fist Bump Challenge for ALS was born.
Because he challenged me to do the ALS fist pump on ESPN today, and I just want to tell him thank you, because the young lady I know got ALS.
A couple people tweeted me and texted me. I got a text from one of 3 of my really good friends from college. And in all caps, he goes, "Charles Barkley just mentioned you, Sarah. Like, what is going on?" I mean, I couldn't believe that, and I'm so, so grateful.
With every day that passes, Sarah Langs' life is changing, and not always by her choosing. But the one constant she has decided, not a day will pass without the game she loves.
The difference between myself and people who are eager to retire because of a terminal diagnosis is that my work is my passion. Baseball is who I am, and getting to work on it is what I do. So I want to continue being me.
That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for.